welcome to our discussion about Project Hail Mary. Now, you haven't seen this,
No.
so I'm going to be talking about it. I did go see it in the theater, and this was one of those films where it was like the last day it was being shown, so I snuck in there and I was by myself. That is now my favorite way to watch films in the theater.
We've had this on a list to do and kind of wanted to see this, kind of wanted to see the Michael Jackson thing, and
Oh, I saw that.
just got to the point I was like, we're fine to just wait for it to get to something else that we can catch it on.
Yeah.
this the Jackson movie you could see anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
This probably would have been nice to be able to catch in a theater, but it also would be nicer if we had a nice theater in Roanoke, and we really don't. So
Yeah, no, we don't.
I think the experience in my basement is just as good as driving into Roanoke.
But this is written by Andy Weir, by the guy who wrote The Martian. He also wrote something called Artemis, and he wrote Project Hail Mary. Now, he did write like some short stories and stuff before that, but like The Martian was his first like big published novel, which is
I have some
amazing.
thoughts about these guys to throw into something at the end.
Okay,
But let's save that.
sure. The budget for it was 200 million, and worldwide gross was 678 million.
Yeah, and still counting. I'm sure.
Still counting. Yeah. Well, I think it's on streaming at this point, I believe.
The do you know what it's done overseas? Like, has it opened in?
Well, 678 was worldwide.
Okay. Because one of the things I was hearing as we were traveling back and forth, and where in that 3 week span of driving, I don't remember at this point where it was, that they were talking about Michael Jackson's movie and how much it had already earned, and
Right.
that it had not even opened in Japan yet.
Oh.
And I was like, good gracious, that movie's going to like triple what it's done once
mean,
it opens in Japan.
I saw something about the Michael Jackson film where they're talking about it opening in Russia, and because that was one of the places he went on tour that was really huge for him.
Yeah, in Japan.
You never hear about movies opening in Russia.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the same way. I think there was a couple tours where he just stayed in like Japan and toured. Yeah. So he had a huge following there, but yeah, 600, 700 million, you said already?
That was worldwide gross. Domestic gross was 342 million.
Yeah.
So it's about split pretty evenly.
I mean, easily. I'm sure when it gets to sales and streaming and stuff, I think it'll go over $1 billion.
Yeah. Andy Weir is pretty much he's got a ticket to ride, so he's good to go.
Yeah.
So the basic plot, this is going to be very light spoilers. Is Earth is cooling, and apparently it's because all the suns that we can see are dimming. They're starting to die, and they find this like trail of what is called the astrophage going to the sun, and it's like this like microbe that's eating our sun. It's a space microbe, and it's an alien, so it's a single-celled organism, and it's like, hey, this is amazing, but it's killing us.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a couple of decades before Earth dies, and they got to try to figure something out. And Ryan Gosling plays Ryland Grace. He's a molecular biologist, and he's pretty much the person that kind of figures out like what they can do. One of the things he figures out how to replicate the astrophage. Like he can make them reproduce, force them to reproduce anyway. And that allows him to turn them into a sort of fuel. They have a new like drive that allows them to go farther in space than other drives have before. And the reason this is important is they found one sun that isn't dying. And they're like, well, we need to go to that sun and find out why it's not dying.
That would be the premise that seems to be the issue with any kind of movie where you're actually doing this, is how long it would take to travel and what we're capable of.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, we're just getting back to the moon.
Well, it's really
50 years after we went to the moon.
Right. Well, when they make
50.
up a new form of space travel, it's easy to just kind of hand wave a lot of this stuff.
I always loved that about the Interstellar movie, where like, he was gone. His daughter was a child, and he comes back and his daughter's dying.
Yeah.
And
he hasn't aged very little.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that because in the very beginning of the film, he wakes up from cryosleep, and the other people who were also in cryosleep had died from just malfunction.
Yeah.
So he's alone in space, and you get to see him kind of bumble about trying to figure things out, because when he wakes up, he doesn't really have a memory. So a lot of the movie is told in like flashbacks, where you see what he did on Earth, and you learn about the astrophage and learn why he's there, why he didn't have a memory. All that gets explained.
Yeah.
It's a solid film. Andy Weir is a very competent storyteller.
I was never a huge like Matt Damon fan.
Mm-hmm.
And really wasn't that excited about the idea of a story of a dude growing potatoes in his poop on Mars.
Yeah, it sounds boring.
And I watched that maybe 5,
yeah.
maybe 6 times because it's a well made movie. It's kind of like a less violent Saving Private Ryan. You can just whenever you come into it, you can just start watching it. And I don't know that about Project Hail Mary, but those kind of guys don't make a film like The Martian or stuff like that by accident.
Right.
I mean, it's
they have skills. One of the things The Martian was praised for when it came out was like its scientific accuracy, that sort of thing. But I've seen since then people like pick it apart and be like, well, it's not actually accurate because of this and that. But it's like it's almost soft sci-fi where it's not hard sci-fi, but it's not like space fantasy.
My attraction to anime that's based off of historical stuff is yes, they bend what actually happened and take some liberties with a lot of stuff, but just having it based in real history,
right,
instantly makes it more interesting to me. And the same thing with it based on science stuff. People that are picking it apart, have they been to space?
Right.
Have they created any spaceships? Have they done anything other than sit around and pick stuff apart? I don't think so.
You're speaking to Neil deGrasse Tyson now.
Yeah.
But everybody knows about Rocky. He's the little alien sidekick.
Yeah.
He meets him on the way, and the premise is Rocky is also from a planet who is dying, and they also noticed, hey, this star isn't dying, and they also said, well, let's go and see why not. And they were kind of in the same situation where both of their crews died, and so they're both alone. And there's some really endearing segments where it shows them trying to learn to communicate with one another, and it's almost a comedy at certain points.
Yeah.
The whole movie is very lighthearted. I know a lot of people compare it to like Interstellar, an easy comparison. This is very much like a Interstellar light.
What I always thought looking at the previews and stuff of this again without having seen it was like this is like E.T. in space. Maybe something along those lines.
I can see the argument for that.
E.T.'s like it was a good kids movie. It gets intense, especially when you're a kid. When the agents and stuff show up and are trying to take E.T. away and he's dying and you're a little kid, you're like, leave him alone.
I could see Rocky being a draw for the kids. Absolutely, he's very cute, very lovable. Even though he's just rocks.
Yeah.
And because I remember when I saw the trailer, I thought Rocky was maybe like a robot. Like I was thinking Interstellar, and the TARS robot. I was kind of making that comparison between those two.
Yeah.
But no, Rocky's an alien life form, and he's not like, at least not that I can remember. It's not like rocks are like it's not. He's an alien life form that is bringing life to the rock or anything like that. Like he's like the life form looks like this rock.
He's just made of rock.
Yeah.
Or something like rock.
Yeah, something like rock.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful film. It's definitely one I think I'll probably buy when I can get it cheaper.
Yeah.
I put it on my my wish list on Fandango. So when it goes up for $5, I'll hit buy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the cast here. There's not too many people that I even know, which I kind of like.
Let me bring that up.
As Ryan Gosling is it?
Ryan Gosling.
The all the other people that they're listing there, people I kind of look a little bit familiar. I'm sure they've probably been in some series or something. Sandra Huller, Milana, they went overseas on this. You got a lot of names I can't even say.
Well, the main female scientist that was kind of like wrangling him on Earth, she was like Russian or something. It was very much wanted it.
That's this girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They very much wanted it to seem like the whole world came together to try to solve this crisis.
I unfortunately saw her in Werewolves Within. Oh, that was awful. That was not worth mentioning that one. The other lady, she's in all kinds of stuff I haven't seen. So yeah, I like that. Just seeing the.
Oh no, that's the.
Main, that's the Wrangler. Okay. Yeah. No, she's
Sandra Huller.
She's German.
Yeah. The pretty much the only other thing I wanted to mention was apparently, like, most of the special effects on this was done practically.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, not 100% could be done practically. A lot of times they say, well, this movie was done practically. You look at the behind the scenes and there's green screens and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's one of the things that they have to do in the film is they have to connect the two ships so they can communicate. And like that whole sequence, apparently they actually like built the hull that was that connected the two. And Rocky, because he's from a different planet, breathes a different kind of gas than we do. So they always have this like glass structure between them that Rocky produces.
Yeah.
And knowing that that's all, like, even Rocky himself is a puppet. Like he's not CG at all. And just knowing that when I was watching and I was aware of that, it
I remember
made it a little more endearing.
I remember seeing a little bit in the preview too of Rocky's ship. It's got all like almost like crystal spiny looking shards.
Yeah, crystalline. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool design. Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing that myself. If there'd been any other circumstances where we weren't just in the middle of so much stuff, I would have already have seen it, but
it's understandable.
We'll catch it around.
All right.
I'm sure it'll be, I don't know if it'll go Prime, HBO, Netflix, who will do it, but I'm sure it'll be a Walmart Blu-ray for $15 at some point. So.
Yeah, it says Amazon Prime Video.
Well, if it goes to Prime, that's awesome because we'll get it. And I won't have to pay for it, or won't have to pay any extra for it.
Right now, it's just to rent or buy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, all right. Well, the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be God of War, Ragnarok.
Yes.
All right.